The year 2023 marks the 60th anniversary of Sarawak's independence. In 1839, James Brooke, a British explorer, first arrived in Sarawak and started the Brooke Rule that lasted until 1946. On the 22nd of July 1963, Sarawak was granted self-government by the British and became one of the founding members of the Federation of Malaysia, established on the 16th of September 1963. Since then, Sarawak has transformed from a vast, geographically challenging and underdeveloped state in the 1960s to a modern and progressive region that we witness today. The state government established 9 regional development agencies to oversee and implement development projects in all parts of Sarawak. The 9 agencies are the Highland Development Agency, HDA, the Upper Rajang Development Agency, URDA, Northern Region Development Agency, NRDA, Integrated Regional Samarahan Development Agency, IRSDA, Sri Aman Development Agency, SADA, Batong Division Development Agency, BDDA, Rajang Delta Development Agency, RADDA, Rascom Area Development Agency, RADA, and the Greater Kuching Coordinated Development Agency, GKCDA. Each agency is provided with 1.5 billion ringgit development fund and considered as a new approach to ensure that development can be coordinated more effectively and accelerate development, especially in the rural areas. The construction of the first inner-city trunk highway in Sarawak was commenced in 1965, dubbed as the first trunk road. Most of the highway networks in Sarawak was constructed within the decades of 1960s to the 1980s. However, the highways were not fully paved with asphalt yet at the time. It was only by the end of the 6th Malaysia Plan, RMK6, in 1995 that the FT1 highway in Sarawak was fully paved. The Pan-Borneo Highway is a road network on Borneo Island connecting Sabah and Sarawak with Brunei and Indonesia's Kalimantan. Phase 1 of the 16.117 billion ringgit Pan-Borneo Highway involves the construction of a 786-kilometer stretch of road in Sarawak from Telok Melano to Miri, which is now over 94% completed. It is expected by 2025 that Sarawak will have better road network systems as the government is in the midst of implementing the second trunk road or coastal highway project costing a total of 11 billion ringgit. A total of 1,200 kilometers of new roads is needed to connect the remaining 381 settlements in order to achieve 100% connectivity throughout Sarawak. This will pave the way for new growth opportunities and improve the socio-economic well-being of the people through better healthcare, education, agriculture, and various economic activities. For the record, a total of 5,833 or 94% out of 6,214 registered settlements in the rural areas are connected by road in 2022. In the past, the river was considered as the main mode of transportation in Sarawak. As a result of this, many villages, including longhouses and settlements, are located on both sides of the river. The state is also home to the longest river in Malaysia, Sungai Rajang, and there are some 5,000 kilometers of waterways in Sarawak alone. Several bridges have been constructed to provide road connectivity between the two sides of rivers in Sarawak, such as the Sadong Bridge. Apart from that, other bridges are also being built in towns and rural areas of Sarawak. Among the most anticipated bridges are the Rambungan Bridge project and the 466 million ringgit Bintulu Jepak Bridge project. The bridges will also function as a link to provide electricity and clean water to the new areas. It is hoped that these projects will open up new areas, providing new opportunities as well as spurring economic growth for the locals in the area. The building of access roads to underdeveloped areas has given birth to new townships in Sarawak. These townships were carefully planned so that a sustainable township ecosystem could be created to attract industries, commercial activities, and generate employment opportunities for the residents. Planned with public transportation connectivity and community services, residents of these new towns are also able to seek employment further afield. The townships such as Kota Samarahan is one of the examples of the strategically planned areas. More people are moving into these new areas, resulting in the construction of modern housing projects that are affordable and conducive to quality living. Another new township, which is the Subuya Township, is set to propel the district's development as a coastal commercial hub. The new township will house government offices, commercial buildings, and new residential areas. Meanwhile, the Bayor Township will be developed in the Padawan sub-district. It is still in the planning stage and is expected to contribute to the economic growth of the area.
Kami diam di Migi dulu pun rasanya si jauh beza lah sebab dulu kami masa biakun, electricity, air semua pun dah macam biasa. Hanya air lah kadang-kadang satu sekilas seminggu, 2-3 hari saya ada mungkin generator semua dah. Saya ada masalah apa-apa lah kan. Macam jalan raya ialah jauh beza lah. Dulu saya ada jalan tar apa semua, batu, jalan tanah. Generator hampir semua tempat dah boleh dipergilah, settle lah. Masih ada masalah apa-apa lah. Jalan tu dah bagus apa semua kan. Si jauh beza lah daripada di Semenanjung tu lah.
Sarawak will have the largest system of protected areas, including national parks, nature reserves, and wildlife sanctuaries in Malaysia through its conservation efforts. These TPAs are important to safeguard our biodiversity, building resilience against climate change, as well as ensuring food and water security. As of now, the state has 67 protected areas, both on land and in the seas. The total protected areas, TPA, currently are about 870,000 hectares. That's more than 1,000 times bigger than Singapore, whereas our marine parks are over 1.2 million hectares. Recently, the government has announced Bukit Seoul Nature Reserve in Kuching to be the latest totally protected area in the state. Sarawak has always put an emphasis on education and capacity building in Sarawak. Divisions like Kota Samarahan have been identified as a hub for medical and education, attracting not only locals but international professionals. Schools, especially in the rural areas, are getting upgraded and new buildings are being built to provide a conducive learning environment. Higher learning institutions and technical schools, such as Centex and University of Technology Sarawak, are now offering courses that can equip students with expertise and knowledge that can meet the global demands in line with the state's roadmap towards a digital Sarawak. An amount of 194 million ringgit has been allocated in the Sarawak 2023 budget for food industry, commodity, and regional development to transform the local agriculture and rural economy landscape. The state government has been actively pursuing the industrialization of the agriculture sector to transform it into a vibrant and profitable economic sector, shifting the sector from being associated with low-income and unskilled jobs into a high-income profession that will attract youngsters and professionals. Infrastructure such as road connectivity and the new short takeoff and landing STOL airport, stall port in Babuling Batong will be vital for the agricultural sector in Sarawak, as it will enable local produce to be distributed to a greater network while reducing transportation costs. From Kuching to Limbang, the riverfront beautification projects in Sarawak can be seen in almost every district in Sarawak. Not only will it protect the riverbanks from erosion, these waterfronts will provide space for recreational and economic activities for the local communities. Currently, Kuching has the longest waterfront in Sarawak, but soon to be overtaken by Limbang with the completion of its 1.8-kilometer waterfront in the near future. Other completed waterfront projects are the Dalat Waterfront, Sri Aman Waterfront, Cebu Waterfront, and Niah Waterfront. Each of these landmarks offer breathtaking views, especially during sunsets.
I'm proud to be a Sarawakian. Reason being because I travel a lot, and whenever I travel, I used to hear people speaking how good Sarawak is. I think to me that is the best testimony when you hear what they have to say about your own state. I thought that this benchmarking, this far-sightedness, the vision of our Premier, our state government, accelerate the growth of Sarawak. And I'm proud to be Sarawak, and I really look forward to 2030, where we're going to realize the PCDS 2030 towards a sustainable future. Sarawak, truly amazing.
Sarawak has come a long way since its independence in 1963. The state has witnessed remarkable progress and greater participation of its citizens in the socio-economic development. The unity among its people is a major contributing factor in developing the state to what it is today. More development projects are being carried out in both the city and rural areas. This is to ensure that everyone deserves to enjoy Sarawak's economic prosperity, sustainable environment, and social inclusivity. This framework is in line with the post-COVID-19 development strategy PCDS 2030, where Sarawak aspires to achieve a developed and high-income economy by the year 2030. Till we meet again, this is Zara Bird, signing off for Borneo from Above, Season 2.